Deus Vault, my fellow gamers. I hope you guys are enjoying the last minute crunch before Christmas. We're at the 21st right now, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to wait until Old Mary's water breaks before you buy some gifts. So, good luck with that. God bless y'all. So, right now we're going to talk about cleaning some Mercs miniatures, the old school plastic rubber mess that they have. I will tell you that the new school models that are in Mercs Miniatures right now, mercsminiatures.com from Fifth Angel Studios, they're a harder plastic. They're going to be much more like cleaning models from Fireforge Games or Games Workshop. That plastic actually cleans very well, very smoothly with a nice sharp knife. And that's basically, all that you need. These models are a little bit of a nightmare to clean, because you're taking a lot more time to get the smooth texture on this material itself, because it is rubbery. When you go across it with your knife, it will create these little bump ridges, and they're kind of a nightmare to get out. And actually, in each mold line, you go over it two different directions at least. And the first direction is to get down the big ridge of the mold line. The second direction is to smooth out the bumps that you cause in this, because invariably the bumping will be caused, and it's because this material is softer, and that soft elasticity of the material means that your knife is stretching over that material, the material stretching under the knife really, and then it will bump back and cause the knife to dig into it. And it's unavoidable, honestly. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and it's just this material, okay? The best thing to do for this is to have a nice sharp knife. And there are some other things that you can do. With these items, you still need to go over it with a knife to get it nice and smooth. And these tutorials are really for people that want the nicest, cleanest, smoothest outcome that you can have with mold lines. I know that there's some of you guys out there that will just crack open a blister pack, slap that dude on a base, and just go to town, prime it, paint it. Some of you guys put those models up on eBay and say that they are pro painted. All right, first of all, you're out of your freaking minds, because if you haven't cleaned your surface properly, there's nothing professional about that, and people should not be paying money for that mess. Yeah, you guys, go chew on some crayons, because you have not grown up. Clean your daggone models if you want people to respect you and pay money for what you have put out there, okay? I don't care if it spent 20 hours in a airbrush booth with all kinds of coats of lacquer and all that mess on it with weathering effects and all that stuff. If you have a mold line running down the face of it, it's garbage. Strip that paint job off, clean the mold lines, okay, guys? So we're looking at this model. This is actually the last one I have to clean. Technically, I do still have this alternate sculpt Marshall here that I found, but he's a solid piece. He's not that bad really to clean. It's going to take a while because of getting the surfaces nice and smooth, especially his hat. Oh my gosh. Recently, I found some other models that I have a bunch of recon stuff. So I've got this guy from House 4, I believe, the Survivor, I think is what he is. But he's just tracking some dude out there. But I got him cleaned up. And then I've cleaned up this little bitty Shock from Kaziwaza. And she was a lot of little pieces, just like this guy here, who is the monkey wrench from Kaziwaza. And these models were only done in plastics. So, I'm trying to get up to the 10 models that they make and get these guys cleaned up so I can do more comprehensive battle reports. I can do some sit down chats about how the models function, what their role is in the faction. So she's just a really great model. Now with my Kaziwaza models, I have special bases that I put them on, so they're not just putting a bunch of ballast on there and going with it. Now, I think it's 14 factions that they have now for Mercs, and I have all 14, but what is it? like 8 or 9 of them have the straight ballast, and 6, I want to say 6 have custom bases. It's just, you know, a nightmare to do all the custom bases, and I really wanted to get some videos out here and get models standing is the thing. I wanted to get models standing up. So let's go over tools of the trade. What I generally use, and I only use, a very, very sharp, brand new X-Acto knife. Ow, ow, I stabbed myself. So, yeah, brand new, blinging, okay? Put this bad boy in its sheath again. Whew, scary. I can't tell you how many times I've opened myself up with one of those. Now here, these sanding sticks, I swear by, Stevens International. These bad boys are 800 grit. Actually, let me get this mat out of the way. I love the logo of Mercs, but let me see if it will help me focus. Oh, there we go, a little bit. So 800 Stevens International. You buy a pack of these guys, and it's about 20 bucks. They're not cheap, but these things are the truth. If you want a nice smooth finish on anything, if you guys do gunpla, if you guys do anything that you need a nice smooth professional finish, Stevens International, man. Fat end for big jobs and the skinny end for small jobs. It is just like foam core, so it'll bend, and it does not have the sandpaper on the edge. Okay. Now these guys are a bit too big for this job here, because this is a small little poop. And there you go. I covered up the model. Boom. You know, I'm sanding the whole model down. So these aren't practical. So what you could do, if you're an enterprising person here, these weird sanding sticks. These are a plastic needle sander. And I know Tamiya makes these things, but that's if you want to spend an arm and a leg for something that you're going to go scratch, 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 and then throw it away. These came from a local hobby shop, Denby Hobby Center, that, you know, the label's so old, and the adhesives coming. Oh, look at that. Okay, totally off. Yeah, I'm an old gamer. So this came from Denby Hobby Shop, and it's just a sanding needle. Yeah, these are expensive too, but they're not as expensive as the Tamiya ones, and you get a fair few more. And I think I've used a few in this pack, but the whole thing is coated in this very, very fine sanding grit. I'm sure that they would have some in y'all's model shops nearby, but this little needle point, that's the truth. And even this chisel edge, you can get some good work out of that as well. And it's a little flexible, but you know, when you're sanding anything, if you're putting all kinds of pressure on it to flex it, unless it's the foam core stuff, more than likely you're going to be cutting an edge into a flat spot into your model. You're going to be cutting that into it. You need to be able to fix that. Another thing, which is fantastic, and it is expensive as well, you know, $5. Well, these came from Hobbytown, USA, and they have metal in them. And I believe it's the same grit. Now here they don't. Okay, they just have a silly warning label. Warning! Poke your eyeball out, you know. So Hobbies, it just has this, but this was Hobbytown, USA. They had it right up front, I believe, by the checkout counter. And they probably have it with their HO scale stuff, their railroad train stuff. Hey, you're a gamer, sorry, but you're dealing with Woodland Scenics, and you're dealing with train sets in Hobbytown. So these are good, and with the metal piece, it gives it some rigidity, but it's still foam core, it's still squishy. So it's very nice, and it's kind of small, probably not as small as what you need. So here is my suggestion. Instead of going and buying these really expensive things, and you can see how much I've used these and used the sanding needles. I don't really use them, but when you're a modeler, you buy things and see how they work, and then you make up your mind from there. But okay, Tamiya finishing abrasives. Okay, you've got 3 different grits here. That's pretty insane, right? 2,000 grit, you may as well just be rubbing your finger on it. I think your fingers are less than 2,000 grit, but yeah, so very, very smooth, very, very nice finishing papers. This is actually the second pack I've been through, and I haven't even opened up this one yet. It's so nice. And they give you little tips and tricks, telling you about, flat spots. Don't do this, don't hurt your stuff. This is just, making a sanding block, whatever. Okay, and then that's also sanding. You can wrap it around your X-Acto knife. You see how they're doing that for very, very fine sanding? And that's what I would suggest. You can make your own sanding needles just by taking a toothpick, wrapping some of this, just a little strip, man. I'm just take a little strip, wrap it around that bad boy. You're gonna roll your toothpick in some super glue and then wrap this around it, let it cure, make yourself a few of them, and you've got these really fine sanding sticks that you'll be able to get into all kinds of wonderful places that you want to get into. You could use balsa wood, chisel it down to a little tip, make it a short piece, because if you have a long piece of balsa wood, you're going to snap that bad boy in half when you're trying to get with the sanding program. But this is my suggestion for you guys. If you guys want to take it to the next level or whatever, just have really clean, nice models. Finishing Abrasives. Tamiya, good quality products. I love a lot of their products. You can't go wrong with Tamiya. But old school analog danger. That's what I'm talking about right there. All right, let's grab our homegirl here. Now what I'll do is I won't look at the phone. Can I zoom? Oh, see, look, it's gross. My thumbnail is disgusting, but yeah, no, would you mind? You offend me. So, all right, see that mold line? And here's the trick. You see there's one here, and then what do we have over here? Oh no, it's 2 mold lines and they merge. Yeah, happens. And especially with this material, it's terrible. So yeah, it goes across the pack. Kind of lost there in a mixture, maybe because I'm looking at viewfinder on this phone. But we pick it back up here, and it goes up across the backside of this helmet, wraps around, goes back down. Oh no, and look, it branches. I think one goes here. Oh no, it doesn't branch. It doesn't go on either side. But one goes up here, down there, and that is so big. It's terrible. Terrible. Get the hints, dude, out of my face. Oh, offensive. Oh, dude. Why don't you go post it on Instagram, you offensive thing. So it goes down over this cylindrical thing. That's going to be a joy to clean right in this little, what a nightmare. And then we got this big thing. It's like he's growing fins. He wants to go swimming or something. Nightmare. Okay, so me just cutting it off, that was just taking care of the big stuff. The big problem is actually getting the ridge down here off this little foot. Now, of course, the best thing, go ahead and cut it first. And of course, you have to worry about inside. You got to get up there by his crotch and whatnot. So bad. This was just an extreme example, and it was the last model I had to really, really clean. So I just wanted to show you. Oh man, get that flash out of my face. Get the flash out of my face. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Terrible. Okay. Yeah, this guy's, yeah. Woo, I'm gonna get you, boy. His arms and stuff aren't that bad. It's just that this is a rough casting that they did here. We'll go ahead and choose this. You see how I've already got like a little divot? Well, that divot is okay because it's still not past the main form of the leg here, this front greave armor, if I can call it that. These guys want to lunchbox themselves together. You know, it's like an old 80s lunchbox, like pressed against his leg. Anyway, so, and what I do, like I said in the other cleaning metal video and whatnot, I put it at like a 45 and I'll go up. And then to smooth it out, either I'll go this way or put it at the opposite 45 and smooth it out. I don't know if I can zoom in and show you guys these bumps here. And on a big flat spot like this is where, you know, one of those sanding options would be, you know, pretty good. The X-Acto knife you have to use in the tighter spots. You just cannot fit in the sanding paper unless you make your own sanding sticks, which is what a lot of professional guys do. You make those sanding sticks, you make the tools you need. Okay, maybe you can see a little bit. There's a little bit of the bumps. There's one, there's two, there's three up there. And usually, they won't even be able to be seen. We're messing with miniatures and I'm on a stinking phone. I do want to point out that I've got my nice Handycam charged up. I will be filming soon in 1080p. And my computer, you know, I spent some decent money to get that cleaned up. And so that will be available as well. I just wanted to do a video that was short, sweet, and to the point about cleaning these terrible models. But to knock these ridges down, you go kind of maybe across them would be best. So my equipment is gearing up, and I'll be filming longer-ish videos, hopefully with some sad self-battle report type things. I don't know how fun it's going to be to beat my own butt, but we'll do our best. And it's therapeutic. What I like about this is the challenge that these wretched materials have for you. Okay. It's kind of smoothed out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's still a little shadow. See, there's a little black shadow there, a little shadow there, and a little shadow there. And what I'm doing in my garage and in my lamp, at my desk, and basically everywhere in my house, I have natural light bulbs, because I like to see stuff, and that's why I don't really do the little warm lights. So right here, yeah, I'm just going to go with my old reliable, because this should hit that top surface pretty good. It doesn't take much, and these Stevens International sanding sticks are it's just like polishing. It's so nice. Like, it doesn't take much. Once you have a good base with your X-Acto knife and gotten it pretty smooth, once you hit it with a Stevens, it's the finishing touch, man. Look at that. Oh, dude, that's so sweet. A nice shine around the light, and that's what you do. You want to rotate it in the light and make sure that your contours are all right. You know, you want to make sure that there's no shadows. It's very smooth. Man, dude, it's so smooth at the touch of the knife when you just put it down and stroke it down this way. Don't get the wrong idea, guys. It's very, very smooth. There's no ridges detected on this nice knife. This very, very sharp knife. Is a brand new blade. So, yeah, and you know what you do, go across it. I do it the 45 because you're actually cutting longer with your strokes. You're cutting longer on that ridge. If you do it like this, you're going to get really bad little bumps in it. So don't do it like that. Do it like this. It keeps smoother. You're going to keep contact on the material surface for longer. And then, either go straight across it like that to help clean it up for the final clean versus, without sanding, or put it at the opposite 45-degree angle and stroke it the opposite way to help smooth those ridges out. That's what I do personally. Other people, I've seen people go to town with these things with Dremel tools. The dead zone models, they're a lot harder plastic than this, but it's that Restic garbage, which, I'd rather chew tinfoil than mess with any more of that mess. So, they go at it with rotary tools. I'm sorry. When you do a rotary tool, it makes all the surface all white and whatnot. Now, you could go over and try to use extra thin cement from Tamiya to melt all that together and make it smooth, but that's a hot mess. So, the Dremel tool I would just avoid. Take the time, use the effort, use a sharp X-Acto knife. Make sure it's a brand new one, because just doing one of these models is going to wreck the knife. It'll still be sharp to do things with, like, spread peanut butter on bread, but not model work. But I've got to do this whole dude, but that's okay. I've got a night ahead of me, and we're going to get him done. Chosen tool for the job. If you can get away with bigger surface areas. You saw how it just polished off all those, and they were very, very small marks. And the thing with the knife, you can overwork it, but with this material, because it's so rubbery, you gotta just kind of keep working it until it's smooth and the way you want it. But definitely get away with some of this. Man, this 800 grit is the truth. It cuts just enough, and it makes your plastic ultra smooth, if you're going to go with plastics. Now, like with her and the top of her rifle, I did her entirely with a sharp new knife, and she turned out very well. But if I touched it with the, see how smooth that is? It's just all about working it in the opposite directions with the knife. Okay, don't get frustrated with these older models, and with dead zone models. Dead zone is just, the Restic is just a nightmare. It's the same with this stuff. This stuff is the reason why I walked away from Privateer Press. Don't fool me with that page 5 nonsense. And with their later rule books, they took that out. Like, okay, you've decided to go the way of GW douchebags. So anyway, at least I got one part clean. It's just to show you guys what's up. This is how I attack these older models with the rubbery stuff. If you go to mercsminiatures.com, you're not going to have to deal with this. You're going to have nice, harder plastics. They've upped the hardener on the mixture, so they turn out much nicer than this. And as far as I know, the mold, the castings that I've gotten have been very nice. Not big flash like this is nonsense right here. They didn't have big flash bits like that. They have minimal flash, very nice casts. They're crisp, they're clean. They're just trying to do things right. So go visit them, go give them some money. I don't have any, I talk to the people and whatnot, but they haven't given me anything to do any of these videos. I'm just a small fish in the sea now. But hopefully soon I'll have like intros and all that good stuff. We're going to be big time. But anyway, you guys take it easy. Enjoy your Christmas. Be safe. Merry Christmas. And just carry a liaison, guys.